during the ICE raid in Camarillo, California, which is 12 miles from my house, and my daughter lives there. I got my storage unit is right next to Camarillo at the Golden State Storage, and I couldn't get there the other day because they were stopping all the traffic because of the ICE raids, and it got out of control. I want to say that was Friday, and today is Monday, July 14th. Bastille Day. They open up the prisons in Paris, France, and the French Revolution was on. Something like 11,000 people died the first day, and over 100-some thousand people were injured, and some people just fled the city. They went missing. They were never heard of ever again. That was very commonplace in the 18th century. Okay, back to the 21st century. If we've ever progressed any further than the 18th century, let's see if we have. In my opinion right now, I don't think we have, because the Democrats in this country, they decided, well, we need to keep the illegals. Okay, we'll even forget the voter fraud because the male illegal immigrants started voting for Trump, and they didn't like that. So now if they can get some illegal votes, they'll do it if it's in their favor, and they still do the granny farming and everything else. That's not going to stop. But what is going to continue until someone changes it is that the census counts for House of Representative apportionment. In other words, they get to count as a census, even though they're not legal citizens. And that's the beauty of the Electoral College, that you can't tell a liberal anything about Electoral College. They want to abolish it. So if they abolish the Electoral College and they get their way, well, we can just put 17 million people in the state of Wyoming, a red state. Next thing you know, Wyoming doesn't get 3 electoral votes anymore. They're going to get 150 to drown out California and Illinois and New York. Well, they wouldn't like that too much, would they? So, but you can't explain it to a liberal. They don't understand that. The Electoral College was genius by the Founding Fathers, and they found a way around it. They somehow got it changed in Congress, and the Republicans are too cowardly to change it back. Okay, that includes Trump, the man I adore. Okay, Trump, maybe you don't have the power to change it back, but you better do something. You better get on the phone and call one of your so-called loyal senators on the Republican side and say, we need to change that back to where they don't count in the census. See the Dred Scott decision 100 years before I was born in 1857. They counted the black people as 3/5 of a person because they didn't want the southern states overrunning the northern states with Electoral College again. How that keeps coming up, and people just they whitewash they cherry pick the news that they want to push. They cherry pick the laws that they want to break and the ones they want to obey. They cherry pick the laws of the country, the ones that benefit them and hurt everybody else. That's the elites for you. And Bastille Day, the elites didn't do too good in July 14th, and it was 1789 in France. They didn't do too good, did they? So, enough of that. So let's get to the matter at hand here. Some horrific man that was beaten. I'm surprised he survived. I mean, I can't believe he didn't get killed. It's this one here. It's the overhead, probably from the helicopter. It's a pretty good view from the helicopter. So this breaking 4 news: anti-ICE demonstrators assaulted an adult male in civilian clothing in Southern California. Federal agents were executing a search warrant in the area. He's trying to get away. He got punched. It looks like he only got punched once here. But when you see the other footage that I'm going to play for you later in this clip, he got punched twice and kicked once and shoved once. So 4 body shots there. There's this vermin. They're waving the Mexican flag. There's a Mexican flag here. There's a Cuban flag here. What else? There's a Honduras flag here. I mean, we got the Rainbow Coalition here, don't we, from the Central and South America. I'm looking at it again. It's on a continuous loop. I saw a different flag, but it doesn't matter. They got umbrellas. They got stands there. I mean, it's like this was a planned protest. So that's that one. And then I'll play these other 2, and then we'll have some commentary. I mean, that man could have got killed. Yep. We're calling for you. the end, I think cooler heads actually prevailed. Some of the property educated ones, the smarter ones, say, hey, wait a minute, Trump says that we're criminals and that we're proving him right. So a couple of them got with the program and say, hey, look, let's just get this guy out of here. I mean, I'm having a hard time accepting the fact that an American citizen who was an ICE supporter, law enforcement supporter, and he got treated this way in our country, in my county. And then there was another video where there's a $50,000 reward where the guy shot at the ICE agents. Okay.
Tonight, the FBI is offering a $50,000 reward for a suspect after an ICE raid turned violent. The reward is for this man, who they say fired at federal agents during an immigration raid on a California farm. This comes after shooting incidents at 2 DHS facilities in Texas in recent days. Here's ABC's chief investigative correspondent, Aaron Katursky.
Tonight, the FBI is offering a $50,000 reward for the capture of this man, who authorities say is seen on video firing a gun at federal law enforcement agents during the chaotic immigration raid on a cannabis farm northwest of Los Angeles. ICE agents clashed with protesters and deployed tear gas and smoke canisters. Today, relatives of some of the workers rushed to the gates of the farm to tell those still hiding inside it was safe to come out. This man ushered into a car. Authorities say they arrested about 200 undocumented immigrants at 2 cannabis farms and found 10 minors. Agents posed with them for this photo. 4 protesters are now facing charges, and the search for the man in the video follows a string of violent incidents targeting those carrying out the administration's mass deportation agenda. Tonight, the FBI is issuing a $25,000 reward for this man, who it believes was part of an alleged July 4th plot to ambush correction officers at an ICE detention facility in Texas. 11 others have also been charged. Officials at the detention center say they were lured outside by fireworks aimed at the building and then faced gunfire. 1 local officer was wounded.
An assailant who was positioned in the woods shot him in the neck area.
This Customs and Border Protection office in McAllen, Texas, also came under fire. A gunman was fatally shot by authorities after he pockmarked the building with dozens of rounds.
Because Trump's going to put the heat on him, especially he's got other things hanging over his head. Trump can't take any more punches himself, as it were, metaphorically. So he's going to come out swinging on this one. Matter of fact, he did come out swinging on this one. The guy just sent me this. He says, Donald Trump, at the real Donald Trump. I am on my way back from Texas and Washington. Disbelief as thugs were violently throwing rocks and bricks at ICE officers while they were moving down a roadway in their car and or official vehicle. Tremendous damage was done to these brand new vehicles. I know for a fact these officers are having a hard time with allowing this to happen, that it shows such total disrespect for law and order. Therefore, I am directing Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem and Border Czar Tom Homan, who's doing a great job, by the way. What a pit bull. He even looks like a pit bull. To instruct all ICE, Homeland Security, or any other law enforcement officer who is on the receiving end of thrown rocks, bricks, or any other form of assault, to stop their car and arrest these slime balls using whatever means is necessary to do so. I am giving total authorization for ICE to protect itself, just like they protect the public. I never want to see a car carrying a law enforcement officer attacked again. Authorization immediately granted for arrest and incarceration. Thank you for your attention to this matter. I voted for this man 3 times, and the fact that he says he calls them slime balls, the other side are these so-called elite people, and he's educated. Oh, he's not acting presidential. What is presidential? We only had 47 of them. Technically only had 44 of them. 2 of them got elected twice, Grover Cleveland and Donald Trump. So, long story short, I voted for this. I want him to call it what it is. I want him to call a spade a spade. I want him to call what it is what it is. And he made a joke about it 3 months ago. He was the Secretary of State. How about Secretary of War, who's teasing Pete Hegseth? Because that's what you are. You're Secretary of War. For 140 years, it was called Secretary of War. So, when the Democrats got in office, we got to appeal to the French. We got to appeal to the Brits. We got to appeal to the Swedes. We got to be a little more civilized, What a crock of crap. You're Secretary of War. Okay, you're in charge of sending armies to kick somebody's ass in order to keep them kicking our ass over here. That's your job. Okay, stop this. Oh, we got to control the language. Well, we got to say this, and we're progressive. No, you're not progressive. You're actually more racist than the Republicans, aren't you, Dems? Anyway, but I love this. I love how Trump talks. Okay, he tells it like it is. That's what we want. I love the transparency. I love the honesty. Hey, I voted for it 3 times, and I don't regret my vote. Thank you. Stay tuned for the next video.